What's up? Merry Christmas, everybody. Today I brought you 5 non-title UFC fights that they need to make in 2025. So I'm not gonna include fights like John Jones versus Tom Espinal and Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. And these are all exciting fights. These are all banger fights. And also I try to make it realistic. So let's say if one of the fighters is ducking the other one visibly, then of course I'm not gonna match them up because I know that they're not fighting. Um, in this case, Colby Covington is not fighting Ian Gary, unfortunately, so I had to match him up with another guy, and you're gonna see it in a few seconds. But guys, again, hope you have a great Christmas and stay with me on the video and enjoy. We have two big names, Colby Covington versus Gilbert Burns. The battle of, the battle of who's more washed and the battle of the 40-year-olds. So let's see who's more washed. These guys should have already fought back in the day because they are from the same era. They are from the Usman era. Both fought Usman, and as I said, they were around at the same time. And Gilbert has already called out Colby a few years ago.
Colby Covington, you came here, you talk so much. Now you gotta see me. You're gonna see me. I'm gonna beat you up. You're lucky we're on ESPN.
But now Colby called him out because Gilbert Burns leaked Chael Sonnen's number, and you know that Chael Sonnen and Colby are boys. So I think make the and listen. I was about to put Ian Gary instead of Gilbert Burns because I'm a Colby fan, and I think that can be a winnable fight for him. But Colby's not fighting Ian Gary, and that's the problem. So these fights are kind of realistic, most of them, because listen, Colby's not fighting Ian Gary, like 100%. I don't know why, because listen, he said that he does nothing for him, but then at the same time he just fought Joaquin Buckley, so it's pretty weird. I don't know why he's ducking him, because I think Ian Gary is a good stylistic match for Colby, because on the feet he's not that dangerous, Ian Gary, and I know he has some good jiu-jitsu, but I mean, he looks like a lanky soy boy. Colby could take him down easily and maybe drop an OG performance on him, maybe. But Gilbert Burns, this is a harder fight for Colby because Gilbert Burns has some insane defensive jiu-jitsu, and I'm not saying that he submits Colby. I don't see that. Like, Colby's never been. I mean, he has got submitted once, but that was like in 2015. I see this fight being competitive on the feet. Both guys. Colby, bro, he looked so ass on the feet in his last fight. I mean, he was throwing punches like he didn't want to hit Buckley. He was just, bro, those shots were so fucking slow. And he was saying that he started to catch Buckley more in like the third round with some shots, but really, he probably meant like he caught Buckley with some. He caught Buckley probably like with 3 jabs, 3 pillow punch jabs, and that was it. And I know he couldn't take down Buckley, but bro, Buckley's like 200 pounds, full of muscle. Listen, I wasn't surprised at all when he got beat by Buckley, because Buckley is the worst stylistic matchup for this guy in the whole division. And for Gilbert Burns, he just got beat by Sean Brady. And honestly, I wasn't expecting it because Sean Brady, he's not known for his striking. I mean, he got standing TKO'd by Belal Muhammad. That's not a good look. But he outstruck Gilbert Burns. So it's like, I see this being very, very competitive on the feet. Gilbert has more power, but I don't see him finishing Colby. That's the thing. There's no way. Maybe like he can pull it off in the 5th round, submission. Maybe he reverses the position and does something crazy. But it's like, Gilbert is even older than Colby. He's like 38. Colby, he's 36, but his birthday is like in February. So if they fight, he's gonna be 37 when they do. And the winner gets a top 5 matchup, and the loser probably retires. The winner gets a fight like not a title shot, but maybe like a. Listen, if Colby wins, I can see the UFC putting him in a number 1 contender fight. But maybe that's too much. Like the UFC at this point wouldn't do that. I mean, Colby just lost to Buckley. He's never been on a 2-fight losing streak, and I don't see both guys wanting to be a champion anymore. I mean, I'm sure that they would love to be, but at this point they kind of know deep down inside that it's not happening. I know Colby's saying that, he's gonna bring the belt back to America and America's champion. But like, bro, we know it's not happening. You're number 9 in the rankings, and he's lucky that the UFC is not giving him, Carlos Prates or Michael Morales. And so as Gilbert Burns, they are lucky because, bro, Colby should be glad that Gilbert Burns is still around. He doesn't want to fight the young Gary. So there's Gilbert Burns, and he's old too. It's not the best stylistic matchup, but he can win. Both guys can win. So let's see it. Put this on like a big pay-per-view, maybe a feature fight or 5-round co-main event. Yeah, make this 5 rounds. Co-main event, let's say UFC 314 in April. I don't know where it is. I hope it's in America. So let's go. UFC 314 co-main event, Colby versus Gilbert Burns. But the next fight that I was thinking about is Usman versus Whittaker. And I'm just so fucking tired of all the fans talking about Usman as, fighting JDM, fighting Shafkat, fighting Ian Gary, and fighting all of these guys, because at this point, Usman, he's 37, but he's not close. I mean, he's not, far away from being 38. So I'm saying that move up to middleweight, because he has a lot of winnable matchups. Listen, if I was Usman, I would go up to middleweight, fight Marvin Vettori, fight Brandon Allen, fight fucking Roman Dolidze and Jack Hermanson in the same year, because, bro, he would beat all of these guys. You can't tell me that Usman loses to Marvin Vettori or Roman Dolidze. Like, he beats them up, all of them. Usman still got it. I mean, he's not 100%, but bro, this guy, I know it was a year ago, so he will probably be even worse, but a year ago, at 36, this guy, on like 10 days notice, beat Khamzat Chimaev in 2 rounds. He won 2 rounds against Khamzat. It should have been a draw. It was Khamzat's hardest fight, probably, outside of Gilbert Burns. And I said it in the UFC 308 prediction video that Khamzat is gonna fucking destroy Whittaker. Because listen, Khamzat, he struggles against welterweights, you know. But if he moves up to middleweight, he will destroy Robert Whittaker. Fuck, sorry guys. He will destroy Whittaker. I predicted it. Is because Khamzat, I mean, it's just the skill gap between welterweight and middleweight. Usman is one of the best of all time. He should collect like 4 victories in a year, and then maybe fight a bigger name. And if he like, doesn't matter, you know, if the outcome is bad, retire. Or, but listen, he's not doing that, because these guys like Usman and Volkanovski, they have so big egos that they're not gonna fight the most winnable matchups that are still big names. Like for example, Volkanovski, if he wants to stay around and but still, you know, get some wins, then he should fight Aljamain Sterling or even Movsar Evloev. But instead, the guy has such a big ego and he's delusional, so he fights Poirier again and he will get KO'd again. And like, what's the point? Usman, the guy talks like he's still, you know, the champ. he just talks like he doesn't want to give anyone a chance because he's already done it, and I understand. But then what are you doing? Like, either retire or just fight. But I don't want to see him fight at welterweight, because, you know, that era of welterweights is gone. So move up to middleweight. Bro, you're like 40 years old, so you don't need the weight cut. Usman is huge, bro. Usman is very big for welterweight. And you know what happened when he moved up. He looked very good against Khamzat, and that was at middleweight. So, and listen, I think he has a very good chance against Whittaker. Whittaker has this, you know, amazing takedown defense, but against who? You know, Yoel Romero and fucking Jacare Souza. Like, Usman, he's not known for, I mean, the guy doesn't have some insane offensive jiu-jitsu, but he can still take down Whittaker. But I think this fight would probably, most of the time, would take place on the feet, and that's a very good technical battle, and I want to see it. And you know, Whittaker, it's funny because he's not watched. I know that he's been around for like 10 years, and I love how we think about these guys like Whittaker and, you know, Holloway and even Cody Garbrandt, like 40-year-olds, because these guys are just entering their prime. Or maybe not entering, because, you know, Max Holloway, it's hard to decide when his prime was. I mean, I think when he beat Gaethje and leading up to the Ilya fight, even in the Ilya fight, he was doing very well. I think Max Holloway is in his prime. Maybe not anymore because he just got KO'd. Cody Garbrandt is definitely not in his prime. But still, he's only 32. But Whittaker, I think he's in his prime. Even though he got rammed through by, you know, Chimaev, that doesn't mean that his striking sucks, and it doesn't mean that his takedown defense against the average good grapplers is like just bad somehow. Because, you know, Khamzat, you know that he's special. We know that he's special, and Whittaker, I think, against Usman would do very well. So overall, listen, Usman would be even more slower than he was, and I think Whittaker eventually he can catch him with the classic combo that he usually does, you know, the 1-2 head kick, or just outspeed him. I think Whittaker would be like 2 times and 3 times more faster than Usman. I think Whittaker would win on points, maybe like a 49-46, 48-47. but I can also see a finish. But I'm not saying that Usman, cannot win. But for me, Usman is a I'm not saying that Usman cannot win, but because he just a question mark, we don't know how he will look because he hasn't fought in a year. And of course he's declining because he's aging, he's old, but he's still Kamaru Usman. He's still got the skills. I just don't think the speed will be there, and I think he will lose against Whittaker, probably. Because Usman is not Khamzat Chimaev. Even if he takes Whittaker down, he's not submitting him, he's not hurting him on the ground. Maybe I can see Usman landing one big punch, but that's his only chance. Landing one big punch. Honestly. Because Whittaker, his chin, every time he goes up against the big punches like Dricus du Plessis, I'm not counting Paulo Costa as a big puncher. The guy never KO'd anyone. When he fought Dricus, he got fucking melted, And Dricus is a big puncher. He's got some pop. And Usman, we know that this guy, if he can land one clean, like the punch that he landed on, Masvidal in the rematch. If he can land the same punch or something like that, he can wobble Whittaker and maybe he can finish him. But I just don't see that happening. I would go with the safer pick, which is Whittaker. But let's make this in 2025. Usman has no business in 170 anymore, and Whittaker, if he beats Usman, then he's back in the title conversations, maybe a number one contender fight. And if Usman wins, then he can finally break his losing streak, and he can get a title shot at 185. Because listen, he arguably beat Khamzat or had a draw with him, and then he beats Whittaker, bro. And former champ at 170, Hall of Famer, top 15 GOAT, one of the best. Title shot. Give him Dricus or give him the winner of Dricus versus Khamzat, because he deserves the Khamzat rematch. But that's it for this fight. The next one is Dustin Poirier versus Jack Della Maddalena. I think for DP, this is one of the best fights he can take. He's looking for a retirement fight, and he mentioned numerous times that he wants to move up to 170. At the end of his career, he wants to try himself at welterweight. So let's see. And bro, not just that, but at lightweight, the guy has only one matchup that can be made, and that's Max Holloway, because Justin Gaethje is fighting Dan Hooker probably. And which fight would you rather see? The trilogy with Max, by the way, he already beat him twice, or this? Bro, two of the best boxers in the middleweight classes, lightweight, welterweight, and middleweight. Probably the best boxers in those divisions. No grappling. Dustin, I don't want to give this guy an Norman Sarukian for his retirement fight, or a Colby Covington, or a fucking Kamaru Usman. We need someone who's a striker, and JDM is not just a striker, he has that boxing style, and so does DP. Maybe I can see DP shooting one or two takedowns just like he did against Dan Hooker, but it's bro, 95% of the fight will be on the feet, and it's winnable for both. Both guys are fucking tough, and I really want to see this. This is the perfect retirement fight for DP, because listen, he probably wants to challenge himself, but at the same time, I don't think he wants to get like an Islam Makhachev again. You know, someone he needs someone who he can beat, but also is very challenging. And I think JDM is a perfect matchup because who is there at welterweight? Shavkat is probably fighting for the title, and then Usman. Bro, Usman is. I don't think DP wants to fight Usman. Or maybe he does, but Usman should move up to 185. And Usman would probably have a very big weight advantage on DP. Like, probably a 20-pound advantage. Usman's way bigger than DP. And then JDM, Sean Brady. Bro, you want to see Sean Brady versus DP? JDM is one of the bigger names at welterweight. He's big in Australia and his name is getting bigger and bigger. He doesn't have a lot of elite wins. His only elite win is over Gilbert Burns, but people are talking about this guy as like, a future champ. So let's see this. If DP wins, I mean he retires of course, but if JDM wins, then title shot incoming. And when it comes to who would I pick, bro, I think I would go with DP. He's still a dog. I mean, against Islam Makhachev, he took a lot of punishment and he was still fighting. As I said, he's still tough as fuck. I know he got KO'd by Justin Gaethje, but that was a head kick flush. JDM is not landing a head kick on DP. There's no way. So, just a pure boxing match. I mean, I know DP is 35 and he will be close to being 36 when they fight. But listen, I would still go with him. He still has a lot of aura, especially after the fight with Islam. And I think he still got it. I mean, he got outboxed by Islam. And he was even saying like he couldn't find his jab, but I think Dustin is gonna be perfect for this fight. Retirement fight, he doesn't worry about anything when it comes to, like, bro, at this point he's fighting for legacy. He's not fighting to become a champion. So I trust his ability to win. He would get hit a lot, but we know that there's a big skill gap between lightweight and welterweight. And DP is a former, featherweight. So, bro, I think there's a big skill gap between those two guys. I know JDM is an amazing boxer, but DP, I think, is better, and he can also take him down. Would there be a finish? I don't think so. I think DP would win. On points, probably, maybe a 49-46. 48-47, I can see it being very close. But and at the same time, I don't see JDM like flatlining DP. The only guys that can flatline DP are the Justin Gaethjes and the Michael Johnsons. And I don't care about his KO loss at featherweight, bro. He's not a featherweight. Of course he gets KO'd because he was dehydrated as fuck. At lightweight, he got KO'd by Michael Johnson like fucking 8 years ago, and then the Gaethje fight, it was a head kick. JDM's not head kick KOing DP. He's a boxer. Gaethje and JDM, totally different styles. And when was the last time we saw DP against an amazing boxer like Max Holloway? That was the last time we saw it. We saw him. You know what? Like Max is, I know he's a good boxer, but JDM is a very different style than Max. Max, the way he moves, his stance is different from JDM. So JDM's more like a boxer than Max, you know. And so when was the last time we saw a fight like this? I'm just thinking. It wasn't Ben Wasson. It wasn't Dan Hooker. Fucking Eddie Alvarez now. We never seen a fight like this when DP faces, like, bro, DP is the best boxer at lightweight, JDM is the best boxer at welterweight, and both are fucking dangerous, good power, no grappling, just an absolute grudge match. So make this fight. I know that DP's been saying that he's got something planned, and unfortunately I don't think this is gonna be the fight, because JDM's not fighting at UFC 312. So then, bro, and JDM's not fighting Usman, probably. So maybe this is it. I hope so, because this is the best matchup you can make, honestly. Because there is, like, you have to choose between this and the Max Holloway trilogy. So, and I think this one is better. A fresh matchup and two pure boxers going at it. Let's see. And it's a good matchup for DP, and I want him to win. But the next one is this one. Jose Aldo versus Dominic Cruz. I've seen people talk about this, and it's understandable. I was about to put in Henry Cejudo, and I was thinking about how should I matchmake these guys. Maybe Jose Aldo versus Henry Cejudo, but instead I made Henry Cejudo versus Corey Sandhagen and Jose Aldo versus Dominic Cruz. Listen, even though I've seen some people talk about Jose Aldo should fight, Sean O'Malley and Peter Yan rematch, and bro, again, I didn't mute my phone, but again, Jose Aldo would get destroyed by O'Malley. He would get destroyed by Peter Yan, and against Corey Sandhagen, I think he would get picked apart. Like, I know he has a win over Cheeto and against Rob Font, and I'm not saying that he should fight, Marcus McGee next and fucking Ayman Zahabi and those guys. No. He should fight a bigger name that's not gonna KO him. Maybe a Corey Sandhagen or a Dominic Cruz, right? Because these guys should have. No. I think Jose Aldo should have fought Henry Cejudo, but Aldo pulled out and then Cruz stepped in. Cruz is looking for a retirement fight. Aldo is 38. Cruz is like 40 or 39. And it's like Cruz is not gonna KO Aldo, I don't think Aldo KOs Cruz either. That's the thing. I think if it's 3 rounds, this is definitely going to a decision. Bro, sorry about my voice. So this is definitely going to do the what the fuck, bro? And this is definitely going to a decision, especially if it's a 3-rounder. I can see a UFC making it 3 rounds. Like, put this on a big pay-per-view, maybe like the second fight on the main card, anywhere, maybe on the co-main event, because when there's a co-main event, I like it to be 5 rounds. But you know what, you can make it 5, but The reason why I'm saying 3 rounds is better than 5, because I'm afraid that one of these guys will get finished, but I don't want to see Dominic Cruz get knocked out. That's the thing. He's like, bro, 40. I don't like seeing these old veterans getting flatline KO, but Aldo's not flatline KOing Dominic Cruz. I mean, listen, he got outstruck by Mario Bautista in the first round. You cannot forget that. It was a robbery, in my opinion. It was definitely a robbery. Aldo should have won, but he got outstruck in the first round and he lost the round. He did more damage, I know. And he beat Jonathan Martinez. And he would probably beat Cruz. You know, Cruz has been out for 2 years coming off a KO loss. I'm not saying that KO loss would like affect him by a lot, because he took 2 years off, so it's not like he just got KO'd a week ago. No. And Cruz could maybe dodge the punches of Aldo, and I know a lot of people say like Aldo still got it, bro. He still should fight O'Malley for a #1 contender fight. It's very visible that Jose Aldo is far away from his prime, and he's like, for me, when he fought Bautista, it was visible that, bro, this guy is not like a top 3, top 5 guy anymore. If you want Jose Aldo to get murdered, then okay, Peter Yan rematch. But I don't want him. I want him to win. I want both guys to win. What it's like, if Dominic Cruz loses, then so what? He lost at 40 years old against Jose Aldo. It's not a shame. And if Jose Aldo loses, then retire. I mean, he has already taken a lot of damage. If he loses this, then what's the point of fighting? Fighting Marcus McGee, like, win this fight, and if he wins, then you can give him a Corey Sandhagen, okay? And if you want to skip this, then you can give him Corey Sandhagen too. But then, who's Dominic Cruz fighting? He needs a retirement fight, and like, what are you gonna say? Henry Cejudo rematch? He will get KO'd again. And there's no big names in the top 15. I mean, from 10 to 15, there are no big names. Like, Jonathan Martinez, Bautista, Montel Jackson, Marcus McGee, Zahabi. Like, Dominic Cruz is definitely not fighting any of those guys. He needs a big name. I think this is the perfect fight. It's a who's more watched matchup, so as the Colby versus Gilbert Burns fight. So I say, I don't know when when's the timeline right for Dominic Cruz, but I think early part of this year. All of these fights that I just mentioned should happen at the early part of the year. The next one, though, maybe not, because one of these guys or two of these guys, Yuri Prochazka versus Jamal Hill is happening in January. So I say that the loser of that should fight Khalil Roundtree, okay? Because the winner probably gets a title shot. Maybe not. If it's Yuri, then listen. Alex Pereira said that he wants to fight the winner of this, but of course he does, because he wants to get a free win. If Yuri wins, then I don't know what the UFC will do. Maybe if Jamal wins, then you can give him the rematch. But Yuri just, I mean, he lost to Alex twice, and I expect, bro. I didn't even think about this fight and who should I predict, but I think both of these guys should put up an amazing fight with Khalil Roundtree. And after the performance that Khalil dropped against Alex, I became a big fan of the guy. So we should skip the Alexander Rakic's and fucking Jan Blachowicz, put Khalil in the number 3 and 2 spot. Bro, he's like one of the most entertaining guys. Bro, all of these guys that you can see on the screen, these are the most entertaining guys in the whole light heavyweight division. So, and I think Khalil has a chance against both of these guys. He can KO them, especially Yuri, because his defense is fucking 0 level. Man, Jamal, I think Jamal is definitely a harder fight for Khalil. But I want to see both of these fights happen. But in my opinion, fuck, bro. It just comes down to will Jamal will be able to KO Yuri, and I have a feeling that he does. Okay, because Yuri's defense is so bad, and I know that Yuri has the Holy Ghost to just win every fight. Bro, Yuri, he's only lost to Alex Pereira. I know his stock kind of declined and he's not looked at as the same anymore, but you gotta think about it. He only lost to Alex Pereira. He beat Volkan Oezdemir, beat Reyes, beat Glover, and beat Rakic. I know he almost lost to Rakic because he was eating some big shots from Rakic, but I think Jamal Hill can. I know he's not the biggest power puncher, so maybe if he doesn't knock Yuri out, then he loses. That will always be the case against Yuri. You have to KO him stiff. Like, you have to finish the guy. If not, it's over. Khalil Roundtree, I think he can do that. His Muay Thai is very, very insane. And he was Alex Pereira's hardest fight outside of Jan Blachowicz. He beat Alex maybe in 2 rounds or one round at least, and he almost knocked him out. If when Alex like slipped, and if Khalil would have been able to land the big punch, bro. So I say, don't give Khalil, a fucking Bogdan Guskov or a Carlos Holberg. No. This man deserves a big number 1 contender fight after a performance like this. And it's like he's taking so much damage in the Alex Pereira fight. We don't know how he's gonna look like next time. So and he's already like 34, which is not that much. But he's not a young gun, He's been around. Give him the chance to beat, one of these guys. And let's see if Yuri still got it. I mean, I'm interested in, I'm very, very interested in Jamal versus Yuri, because before Alex Pereira was champ, this should have been the title fight. And honestly, I don't know who to pick. But I'm gonna watch some tape and I'll make a video about this. I don't know, a week later, because UFC 311 is coming up. A few weeks. So today is 26th of December. Yeah, like 3 weeks. 3 weeks away from UFC 311. So I haven't decided to who to pick, but the UFC needs to make this fight. If they want to fucking screw over Khalil Roundtree, then okay, then give him Jan Blachowicz, but he deserves the big spot. And last but not least, I matched up Mario Batista versus Ilya Sporia. I don't think I need to explain this why, but guys, we don't need this to be on a pay-per-view. We don't need this to be on a fight night main event. Just record them, record them in the gym, hard sparring, and that's the only thing we need. But thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed them, please drop a like, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel. And thank you guys for watching my videos, and have an amazing Christmas, and I see you in the next video. So goodbye.